We're back with the most news in the morning today. President Obama will announce his new choice for Health and Human Services Secretary, Kansas Governor Kathleen Sebelius. His first pick, former Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle, pulled out over tax issues. Now it appears conservative groups have a major issue with the Sebelius nomination. CNN contributor David Brody covers the White House for the Christian Broadcasting Network, and he joins us now live from Washington. So, David, what is it about the governor that conservative religious groups don't like?
Well, it's the abortion issue, John. I mean, what else is new, right? I mean, they're talking about her relationship in the past with this late-term abortionist, a self-proclaimed late-term abortionist, George Tiller. So there's some issues with him about exactly what her relationship was and certain campaign donations and all of that. And then a veto on the ban on late-term abortions in Kansas and exactly how that would have gone down. So, I mean, there's a lot of different elements to this, but I can tell you the pro-life groups have an itchy trigger finger on this, the inbox full, even before Sebelius was nominated, John. So, I mean, they're ready for a fight. But look, John, as you mentioned in the last segment, Republicans are out in the wilderness. Conservatives are out in the wilderness. Whether or not they'll actually have any footprint on this remains to be seen.
And we just got this morning a letter from Kansas Senator Sam Brownback, a staunch conservative, who's now voicing his support for the governor, saying, quote, "We look forward to working with her on issues important to the state." Is that going to take a lot of fuel away from this anti-Sebelius movement?
It's a problem for the groups like Concerned Women for America and Family Research Council. I mean, Sam Brownback has pretty much been in lockstep with them on the abortion issue. Sure, that's a setback for them. So it's going to be interesting to see. But let's look at the Senate Finance Committee as they go forward. They'll be the ones that'll vet Sebelius first, and John Cornyn is on that committee. So let's wait to see what Cornyn has to say as these groups move forward.
At the same time, the Catholic League called Sebelius, quote, "an enemy of the unborn," said her stance on abortion is, quote, "off the charts." Bill Donahue, the president of the Catholic League, said, quote, "We have the specter of another pro-abortion Catholic stiffing the Catholic Church. This is setting up a confrontation that pro-life Catholics will not walk away from," I guess referring back to John Kerry in 2004. But is there anything that the Catholic League can really do, particularly if Sam Brownback is on board?
Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, once again, I think this is going to come down to, in the end, John, votes in the Senate. And look, Olympia Snowe and Susan Collins and a lot of these GOP pro-choice folks, are probably pretty much on board with the Sebelius nomination. So really, it's going to be up to pro-life politicians in the Senate if they're going to stop this once and for all. But I got to tell you, though, John, there's a bigger issue here with Barack Obama and the Obama administration. Do they want to be sucked in, if you will, to a fight over abortion, or do they want to leave that for a summer battle over a Supreme Court nominee potentially? So, yeah. I mean, I think that's the danger here for the Obama administration, to be a distraction.
Yeah, those are difficult battles to win on either side. But there's an intriguing aspect to this. You suggest, David, that this may ignite a new war between religious conservatives and moderates. How so?
Yeah, I mean, in essence, you can call this somewhat of a proxy war, maybe kind of a warm-up for the big act in the summer for the Supreme Court. Because, I mean, look, you have Catholics United, a moderate to progressive Catholic group, and then, of course, the Catholic groups that you're just citing there, along with the pro-life group. So, I mean, this is that whole thing we talked about in the campaign between the conservative evangelicals and the moderate evangelicals, and them trying to find this common ground, or at least talk about the abortion issue and the marriage issue and other issues as it relates to evangelicals. They're fighting this at a different level. You're going to see dueling press conferences here in the next week or so, a couple weeks. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
It certainly will, and we're glad that we got you with us, David, following every moment of it. Appreciate it. David, good to see you this morning.
All the best, John.
Thanks.